let us see application of insulating glass unit. So, having said that, the IGU is the usages on a facade is massive nowadays, like either it is office or houses or shopping complex, museum, malls or the Skylight. So, the applications widely used so far, these are the locations like facades, office, houses, shopping complexes, museum, malls and skylights. You can see this the picture from architecture glass. Aesthetically it is a pleasing picture where whatever the design you want to do it on the DGU, whatever the architects the design you can get it done through this IGU. Any shape can be done. It's need not to be a rectangle or square, even you can have a curved one or you can have a shaped one also. So, based on the architect decides, the building wants to see the blue color, you can select a blue color, or if you want to see a green color, you can select a green glass. So, that way you can get a good view from inside and outside. So, this is one of the example for it. And next you can see this how it is elegantly glazed with the glass. You can see the facade, it is completely filled with the glass. There is no other materials like wood or concrete or ACP. You can see this complete usage of the glass. So, that way you can get a lot of light comes inside. Occupant gets the best transparency. You can see the outside world, and even we can see from here also you can see this the ground floor. So, what is happening inside we can see what is there, and it is like a showcase kind of this. So, this is how the facade it's aesthetically it's a pleasing and it's a fabulous look. You can see you can get this done with help of IGU. And most of residential nowadays widely they will be using the IGU. The reason is the space. It is most important for residential applications. If a concrete wall if occupies like 100 mm or 150 mm or the more than that, the concrete space nowadays it occupies, and you will have a less space in inside. So, if you remove that concrete, if you use as a glass, it will be a complete revolutionized building for you, because it allows lights and you can reduce the space of material usage. Instead of wall you can use a glass. It will be with hardly maximum it will be 100 mm with help with if you add this frame also, not more than the 100 mm you can have it. Sound properties and light comes in. So, a lot of applications have been used in residential application. This is one of the picture I would like to show. And not only the green color or blue color, white color or any other shades, you can bring your facade as any number of shades you wanted with the help of ceramic fret, or if you want to use a laminated glass with the polyvinyl butyl, you can have a wide variety of colors. So, facade would not be the same color, it can be numerous colors. There are possibilities are there. So, either you can go on we can select as a ceramic fret, or it will be a lamination or PVB you can use it. So, that way you can get a different kind of facade system altogether you can get it. And we can see this is one of the nice building which I would like to show, because it need not to be a square or rectangular. It can be have a curved shape, any shapes it can have this. So, that is the speciality of the IGU. You need not to be constrained about only one. There are two dimension like rectangular, square. It can be a curved shaped or shape of the like you can see they made a kind of a shell, or we can say the egg kind of this. It can be done through glazing with help of IGU. Again, like either you can do ceramic fret or PVB, or like nowadays picture it, like you can do a digital printing on the glass. So, whatever the possibility you can do that. Again, you can have a privacy also, like we have a smart glass kind of a light which can if you use a facade, if you want to see the outside world, or you can switch on this, you can automatically, it changes the phase from the translucent to the transparency. So, that is the amount of luxury you can have it on the IGU. And like you can tint also, there will be a sage glass, so you can tint in a click, or automatically it can change your facade based on your sun outside lux. It will changes into different colors, like blue colors from the different zones. You can do that. So, these are the possibility for IGUs. Skylight, so you can see this is skylight. So, this is a natural light will comes inside. So, thereby there will not be any artificial lights, nowhere will be used for any auditorium, museum, this thing. So, it will be widely used in Europe, and nowadays in India it will picked up. So, it is going to be a lot of museums, auditorium going to be like this. So, there will be, you can see the outside world, and if the rain or it is a moon, the winter, whatever it is happening outside, you can see from inside. There will be a lot of pleasing, appealing for you inside or the outside also. Have an elegant look if you use as a glass, as a skylight. So, this is the one of the example. So, it's widely is going to be used, and people are using it right now. And you can see this is also can be possible for IGU. Need not to be a shape or a round shape. This can be a normal DGU, like you can have a triangle, rectangle. You can keep it on your roof. So, this also can kind of skylighting can be possible. There are n number of possibilities. These are the example which I am emphasis today. So, let us go to the main comparison between the what is monolithic glass and what is IG unit. So, monolithic glass is nothing but either it is annealed glass or it is a tempered glass. It is a single glass basically. Whereas IGU glass, which means it comprise or it consists of 2 or more panels together with separated with help of aluminum spacer and hermetically sealed with help of primary and secondary silicon. So, that is the difference between single glass, which is monolithic, and IGU glass, that is the difference. And if it is a monolithic glass, it gets heated directly by the sun, because you have single layer, you do not have the protection at all. Whereas here double glazing, it prevents the direct contact with the sunlight, because you have a space. So, that will reduce the considerable heat loss, I mean heat gain inside the building. When air conditioning is used inside the building, the temperature difference between the inside and outside building is very high when you use a monolithic glass. Whereas IG glass is very less, because of that there are 2 more panels have been used with the separation of a unit. Either it will be air filled or it will be a vacuum can be done on this. So, that will affect you to give the less energy consumption on this. And there is a only thin glass barrier, as I having said that earlier. This is the single glass, it is a monolithic glass. It has a prevent, like there is a only 2 surfaces, either phase 1 and phase 2. Okay, whereas double glaze unit will have a phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. So, that is the help us to prevent sun get energy, which is heat energy getting inside the building. So, that will loss, that will be restricted because of double glaze unit. Whereas monolithic glass, you need not to have the restriction, because it is a single monolayer, it is a monolithic glass. Barrier to prevent this outside heat from coming inside, resulting in excessive loss of the energy. So, that is what we discuss about it. And the main important how the effect is getting it, due to the convection of air circulates inside the IGU, it acts as a barrier, preventing outside heat from coming inside, and the cool air inside from escaping, resulting in energy saving. That's all about the difference between a monolithic and insulating glass. Let us look at it, what is solar energy conservation. So, U value watts per square meter Kelvin, it is a passive heat gain when it hot climate. Let us see what it is. if you choose a 6 mm as a layer, as a single pan monolithic glass, okay, the 40° it's outside. So there will be heated. If you select a proper glass like the U value of 5.8 or 5.6, you will get a conserved reduction of 20°, which means 40. Here is a 20° inside. So this is the conserved reduction. You can have it either in the form of 6 plus 12 plus 6, which is 12 mm DGU. There is no this clear glass, for example, clear glass, there is no coating or solar coating on phase 2. If you have a you can get a U value of 2.8 watts meter square Kelvin. If it is same DGU, it has a double or triple silver coated glass, basically it is a low-E glass, then you will have the U value of 1.5 watts by meter square per Kelvin. You can get it. The more the less U value, equal to less heat which is getting inside. You see that single glass, solar energy comes in, the partly absorbed and partly reflected, and again there will be a transmission inside the building, the energy. If I use single glass, I may get it 30° inside. If I use double glaze, the same thickness, only the 2 panels of increased, I mean 2 panels I used it with the separation of 12 mm, then I will be getting a 26° inside. If I use solar control like in thermal insulated glazing unit, I mean glass, if I use as a phase 2, what is going to happen? So that U value is 1.2 watts per meter square Kelvin. So there will be a 23 degrees centigrade, whereas you can see the single glazing, if you use it as a normal clear glass, you will get a 30° come inside, whereas if you use if you selected appropriate U value of glass like 1.2 watts per meter square Kelvin, you will be the enormous heat reduction, you will get it. You will enjoy the benefit of heat reduction like 23° centigrade. Again, I would like to reiterate once again, see that single pane monolithic float glass 6 mm, if it has a 5.2 or 5.6, 5.8 within the range, it depends upon the glass selection and the size of the glass. Double glaze pane. For example, float glass like 2x6, like 2 layer of 6 mm glass, 12 mm air gaps as a spacer. If you filled with the normal air, you will get a 2.7 watts U value. And if it is same float glass, the only changes in low-E glass, if you use it on a phase 2 with the air filled, you will have a 1.75. The same float glass, 6 mm thickness, 2 layer, 12 mm air gap, low-E coated with the argon gas, which is inert gas which is filled. It's like we are going to discuss about it, what is argon gas and this thing. So if you used instead of normal dry air, if you use argon gas, argon filled, you will have a 1.49 watts per meter square Kelvin, basically U value. If you use like float glass, the same 6 plus 6 plus 12 mm air gap in a space with the low-E coating with krypton filled glass. This also krypton, which is it is inert gas, sorry, which will help us thermal performance, to increase thermal performance. So it has a 1.42 U value, which means watts per meter square Kelvin. So having said that, the low U value, which means the less heat. Before we get into that, let us understand first the surface of IG unit, which is what side the coating position, what glass it is. Let us see about it. So if you look at the pan like IG unit, so we will have to differentiate with the exterior interior, which is the first most point which you have to look at it, because whenever while doing a processing, you will have to understand which side is going to be a coated face. If we are not understand properly as in this case, then our glazing will be different altogether. When we at the time of insulation, like installation at the site, you will have a shade variations because of you are not followed proper surfaces, which basically we are not understood the surface position, which coated face going to be facing which location. So, we will have to understand. So, let us see if you consider this is the DGU. Okay. So, whatever you see as a face 1, which is when you from outside, you look at it from outside, like you have a facade, you are outside of the building, you are seeing that. So, whatever you see that is a face 1. The glass has a two face. Having said that, the two faces, one is air side and inside. Okay. So, the first face, what you look at it from the outside of the facade, exterior of the building, which is the face 1, which is surface 1. Next is surface 2, then separated air gap, and you can see this, there is another pane which is going to be a inner pane, which is interior pane. When the people are look at it from inside, they will see the first class. For them it is first class, for you the second pane. So, when you look at it from the outside building, so whatever you are looking the first surface, this is a surface 1 and surface 2 and surface 3 and surface 4, so on, you have to look at it. So, if you understand the surface positions at the time of productions, you will not make any mess, and thereby you will have a good result